How do fellas, Nigel back here again with another inbox review, and today we're going to be taking a look at Kitty Hawk's RF-5E Tiger Eye. Now this is not normally what I build, mainly because it's 1/35, but a good friend of mine had no more use for it, so he decided to send it across to me, and so I could have a look at it and have a build of it. Now I do like the F5. It's a beautiful little aircraft, you know, a two engine single seat aircraft, and this is the reconnaissance version, but I think mainly it's sort of like got the aggressor sort of scheme on it, so this is why I really like one. I probably might even build this one. So what we'll do, I'll switch off, we'll get onto the overhead and we'll go from there. Okay fellas, right, well, I'm having a problem with my overhead at the moment. It keeps flickering, so what I'll do the instruction book here, and then I'll see if I can record normally for down below. Okay, so start off with the instructions. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 plastic sprues, a clear sprue, a photo etch, 2 decal sheets and a resin pilot. So we start off in the cockpit. Okay, so we start off with the seat. Moving along, we've got the cockpit tub, putting the controls in, the back of the cockpit. Okay, with what looks like a radio compartment in the back there. Okay, going along to building up the tub and building the seat. Okay, yeah, the seat was at the top, so building and putting the seat in. We then move to the nose wheel. Okay, so we're building the nose wheel and the main landing bay wheels, or is that, no, that's the cannon that goes in the nose. Then adding some more parts into the actual cockpit area before the cockpit then gets sandwiches with the gun bay, the wheel and what have you. Like, by looking at this, it looks like it's designed to be all open, which I don't know whether that's going to be a problem, because I have attempted to build their Jaguar, and that's designed to be built open, and you can't build it with everything closed. Okay, so then we move on to the nose. Okay, so we've got the nose, sandwich the nose together with probably the camera sort of equipment in there, with these glazed parts for the reconnaissance, which goes on to the front. There's nothing in there about any sort of nose weight. Okay, and then we put the resin pilot seat in, before we move on to putting the canopy windscreen and the canopy actually over the cockpit, and putting some of these panels in the open position. It is not telling me whether to close them up, so again it's going to be designed to be open, which could be a problem. Okay, we'll have to wait and see if I come round to build this. We've then got the engines. There'll be 2 of these, the main wheel bays and wheel struts, okay, with the 2-part wheels with the flat spots. The engines then going on into the belly, okay, with the wheel wells going in, and then the spine main body of the fuselage drops down. We'll look at the colour call-outs in a minute, because there are quite a few. And then the nose section joins onto the fuselage with some other panels that you need to add in. The engine nozzles going on before we go to the air intakes. we're going to build the wings, okay, with the parts of the undercarriage, okay, going in, the wheel doors and the wheels and the struts going on, the leading edge slats. We have replicated that in duplicate. And then we go on to adding all those parts, tail, horizontal stabilizers, wings to the actual fuselage, before we then go and add all the undercarriage doors and all that sort of stuff. And then we come to, again, some more of the doors, the arrestor hook, so it can get caught if it's going to run off the runway, some of the weapons, some drop tanks, and then all the pylons and weapons that go on like so. And then we have a call out for what weapons go where. So we'll go back to the colour call outs, because this is going to be a little bit more awkward, because reason I say that, okay, that aircraft that's there is replicated, is then on the following picture. I don't want to pull everything out. So first up, we've got Tiger 211-420, okay, and as you can see, that's in that really interesting camo, okay, more of the aggressor type colours with the blues. That one there, I don't know what that one is. 2 minutes. That one is another 1142 420, but it's got a tiger on the tail. Okay, so that's the same aircraft, but in a different paint scheme. Next up, we have got a Malaysian Air Force One in the 3 blues and greys. Okay, there. And another one which is a Taiwanese Air Force, okay, with a big sunburst on the tail and some other decals on there. And last but not least is a Singaporean Air Force, which is probably the most boring one out of the lot. Okay, so some really, really interesting schemes there. So what I'm going to now, I'll try and go to above and see what happens. So we'll start off with sprue E. Okay, and like this, they've actually got a really big embossed area there which says E in there, and we're actually looking at some of the cockpit parts. So starting with the tub, some nice detail on the inside, okay, and on the actual side panels, okay. I believe that will be in the nose area somewhere, okay. Again, the instrument panel, we've got the belt fed guns. Again, some more nice detail on these parts. Turn it over, okay. These are the front doors, okay, for that panel that's open on the nose. So again, some nice detail. We have 2 different noses, so we've got the small rounded beak type as opposed to the more pointed type just there. All the parts are really nicely molded. I can't see any flash or any issue with that sort of thing. Then we move on to another big sprue C, and this has got the what looks like the upper wings, and as we can see, or hopefully you can see, some nice detail on those wings. There's the nose that you'll be using, okay, so that's the nose for the actual camera, okay, and again There's some nice detail on there. Okay, some nice rivet, nice panel line detail. Okay, part of the camera there, that's a pity. The camera's not hollowed out as such, so you'd have to probably deal with that yourself. That is the camera. I'm assuming it's the camera that shoots down. We've got some more detail over here. The main gear legs are 2-part. I didn't notice that in the instructions. So you've got the 2 parts there. I don't know whether that are injection. See how big that there, and there. They look like they are injection pin marks where it's been left in there. So we'd have to get rid of that. And there's actually quite a lot of this. Okay, you can see that over there, which is quite disappointing really, because that's going to need some cleanup. I mean, it might not be that bad once you get it actually in there. We have the 2-part wheels, which is nice. They've got Goodyear on there. Okay, so some nice detail on the wings. I can't tell whether they are the main or the nose wheel. All right. Next up, we have the... Sorry, that part was the tail. Okay, this part's the wings. Okay, so we've got the upper and the lower part of the wing. And again, we have some nice detail on there. Okay, and we have got the main wheel struts. So that was a nose one, and that was like it was a 2 parts, so they would need some good cleanup because they would then sandwich together. Some of the strafes, or whatever you want to call them, for on the wings, I believe those are. We have some of the control surfaces. Okay, wheel bay covers, some actuators or something on that sort of lines. Again, some nice detail, not much flash. It's just those pesky ejection marks. Okay, because there's even a little bit on here that might cause problems. Okay, so they need taken care of. We've got 2 of the same. So this one deals with the fuel tank, the engine, the main wheels, and again, some nice detail on the actual wheels, and again, Goodyear and all that sort of stuff with the brakes and the wheel hub itself. The chair, okay, which has got, so that's going to have to be dealt with. I don't know what that part is, but I'm assuming that'll be the back of the chair. So I can't see if there's anything else that goes on there. We've got the foot pedals, the engine, basic in 2 halves. But again, this is going to be buried in the aircraft, so it's not too bad. Though saying that, we would have to try and deal with those injection pin marks. Okay. And next up, we have the main fuselage. So we've got the upper part and the lower part that was sandwiched together. Again, some really nice detail over it all. Some of the wheel bays. Okay, the air intakes, and again, okay, you can just see those injection things. So we'd have to deal with those to come to get a nice look inside there. The arrestor hook, I believe that is that part there. A few noticeable sink marks, so again we'd have to deal with those. But overall, some nice detail on here. One thing that has just caught my eye, and if you look at this, see this goes all the way down and all the way down to the end, and then we turn it over. There's one exactly the same, so you can just see that line there that goes all the way down, and I believe that is just part of the mold process. I mean, it's not going to be too difficult to get rid of, but a quick swipe with the sanding stick, it should be gone. But you know, we shouldn't be having that sort of issue. Okay, not on a fairly new kit, I would have thought. Now, kitty hook decals, I don't know too much about them, so we'll just have a quick look, and I'm hoping they're not going to throw my camera off. So we get some ones for the instruments and the decals, for the weapons, some of the stencil data, okay, and then the main ones. Okay, so then that lovely big sunburst, the American stars and bars. Okay, so yeah, they're not too bad. Put them right out of the way for a minute. Next up, we have got a piece of photo etch, so for the seat belts and other parts, some grills, some parts for the canopy, and it's really quite flimsy. Okay, so it's going to be nice and thin. The cockpit canopy, lovely and clear, really nice. Okay, can't see any distortion and no ugly seam line, which is really good. And then last but not least, we get the resin pilot figure. So let's have a look at him. And yeah, not too bad. Some of the details a bit soft, but not, you know, not too bad. And it's a Brucey bonus. You've got a resin pilot figure for your aircraft. So there we are. That's Kitty Hawk's RF-5E Tiger Eye. Looks like a nice kit, but also it looks like a Kitty Hawk kit. Okay, where there will be little issues that will need dealing with. Nothing that an experienced modeler can't manage, and it should go together reasonably well, I would have thought. So yeah, not a bad kit. Possibly one to build in the future. Okay, it'll be going in the stash, and if I fancy something a little bit different, it'll definitely be fetched out. So that's it for now, fellas. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.